Welcome back, friends. It is the Vendor List. Everywhere you get your podcasts, you get them right here. Best show when it comes to vendors for weddings. Well, parties too, but really we're talking wedding stuff. And if you're getting married, you know somebody who is, you've got to share this with them because we're dropping juicy nuggets all the time. And today, because it's Thanksgiving, let's talk food with Jess Nazarova. What's up, Jess?
Hello, hello. This is my favorite topic.
Well, we'll do a lot of dessert stuff, which I know is your wheelhouse. But yeah, you've got some real good stuff on deck here for us, like the cocktail hour with themed hors d'oeuvres. We've got a fun way that a caterer delivered their dinner. We'll do that as a tease. Food trucks and how you can do a DIY in your dessert. I have a few things that they're more vendor related. You're more bride and groom, you're couple related, I'm vendor related. So let's take it that way. Where do you want to start on your list today?
Oh gosh. We can start with, why don't we start with dessert? My favorite place.
All right, what is this DIY dessert table?
So, okay. I saw this, I've seen a few different ways of having this, but basically it's like a build your own dessert bar. And you can do all kinds of different ones, like a build your own sundae, waffles and ice cream, build your own cupcakes with different cupcake flavors, icing and toppings, all kinds of stuff.
I saw it last week, actually, where they had popcorn in 3 different tins, like, the cheese, the caramel, the butter.
Yeah.
But my God. Okay, would it weird you out, friend, if you saw this on a DIY popcorn bar table? Ranch powder.
Oh, no. What? That sounds perfect. That would not weird me out at all.
Oh, I thought you were like, oh, no, that's...
Look, we put ranch on everything. Ranch on your pickles. We put ranch on our pizza, like ranch on everything. So ranch powder, yes, please. Like that's probably like the cool ranch Dorito flavoring of popcorn world. I love it.
Where did you say you're from, Texas?
Yeah.
Very good. I will actually do Parmesan cheese on my popcorn before I will put ranch powder, and I'll drink ranch out of a vat. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I saw that on the table, and I talked to the coordinator. I was like, what the hell is the ranch dressing doing over there on the popcorn table? She's like, oh, no, it's ranch powder. I was like, okay. All right. I'll save that one for Jess.
Yeah.
What did the caterer do that you saw that was pretty neat?
Yeah, so this is the first time I've seen this, too, in 10 years. It was family-style dinner. So some of the dinner, they had like the plated main course, but everything up until the main course was passed. So it was a Jewish Persian wedding, like a fusion wedding. And so they passed some breads and like a yogurt sort of thing. And they passed rice and all kinds of stuff. It was really cool. And the photos turned out awesome. It was very like, low light, candlelit, food being passed from family member to family member over candles. It was beautiful and fun. I liked it.
I know we're food related today, but you got me going here. Is there anything else that you've ever seen that gets tables talking and engaged with each other? Not other tables, but just each table talking with each other?
Not food related, but yes, I've seen, like trivia. Or
I was going to say couples trivia cards where they have that, and like the first one that can submit it. That was kind of a cool. They did a little competition thing.
Yeah,
I like stuff like that. It kind of glues the room together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you'll have all of your guests talking. Like, so one of them I've seen, it's like a long, list of a bunch of different questions. What is the first vacation they took together? Where is, what is their dog's name? What city do they always go to? What's their favorite beer? And different groups of your friends will be able to answer those questions more easily. So like your parents will know the city you were born and, all of these things about you. But then your friends will be like, oh, their favorite beer is, the Natty Boy or whatever. And they'll know those things.
Hey, you know what might be fun? What if you did like a scavenger hunt where each person, like somebody at each table has a piece of information that only they have. So like, everybody kind of has to talk to a different table. I don't know how much you want people moving around. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts. I would can I throw in a request from the food standpoint?
Oh, totally.
As a vendor, when should we eat?
Oh, gosh.
It's a buffet.
It's so unnecessarily controversial.
It's not. It's common sense, and it's just the most
I
simple
know.
thing ever. Why won't caterers figure this out? Clue the
I
listeners
don't know.
in. What's the
I
problem?
don't know. Okay. So, this is the bane of
Because it makes no
every.
sense.
I know. I know. Yeah. So your planner, your photo, video, DJ,
All of us.
band, anyone who's there during the reception needs to eat dinner. A lot of us have left our house at 10 a.m. to
Right.
be, with you at 12 or 1 o'clock, and there are no breaks until dinner. Finally, 6:30, 7:30, dinner comes out. So vendors, it is best for especially photo and video to eat when the couple is eating. It's the only 15 minutes of the whole day where you don't want photos. The only like 15 or 20 minutes. So it makes sense
Nobody
for us to eat right away.
nobody wants photos taken of them shoving food in their face.
Right. And the second they're done, they spend the next 45 minutes mingling, hugging guests, hanging out, and having all of these special moments while, your guests are getting their food.
If you're a couple listening to this, please ask your caterer, let my
Yes.
vendors eat first, because we're going to want them to be able to do their jobs when they're needed. Because think about who's going to suffer from this. It's you guys as the couple. When you come up to us, this is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Caterers, for some reason, the not so great ones, get it in their head the guests eat first. Okay, fine. We're just the help. Okay, I get it. But then guess what happens? When you feed us last at the buffet, everybody is now finished before we even get our food. And this is not an entitlement thing. These people haven't eaten since like 10 a.m. These photographers, I at least have a table. I can sit there and run the toasts and do stuff and eat at the same time while I'm shoveling food, although that's not a great look. These poor photographers and videographers, they have like what, 4 minutes to shove the food in their face. And because the couple's going to be like, hey, let's like go around and talk to tables. We want those pictures. Well, you're not going to get those pictures because the caterer had the vendors eating last. Okay, well, how about we get to toast because it's starting to feel a little stale in here? Well, you're going to have to wait about 10 or 15 minutes because everybody else all the vendors just got their food. It makes zero sense. Why? And except maybe you just want to make sure you have enough food for everybody. But if you're just that razor thin on your margins, I feel like you're doing something wrong in the first place as a caterer.
Well, and your vendors are accounted for. You do,
Yeah.
in my contract says I get a hot meal. So your vendors are already accounted for as, in your guest count or your head count for who eats. But this is an issue for me so often, and it is very frustrating. And I have the conversation with every couple and every planner, and then I have to have it again with every caterer at every wedding. Even on Friday, the caterer wanted us to eat very last, and I had table photos to do. And so of course it happened that catering was like, okay, you can eat now.
Thanks.
And at that exact moment, the groom came to me and said, we've got 13 minutes before my brother has a speech. Can we grab some table photos real quick?
Exactly.
And I was like, can I have 6 minutes, like just to scarf down a plate of food real quick? And this was almost a 14-hour day for me.
And they don't know any better, by the way. It's not the groom's fault. That's not the groom's fault. He hired you to work. They're thinking like 6 minutes. Come on. Like, that's not their fault.
And actually, I had another wedding in October where we went back to eat, and the planner came rushing in to tell us that speeches had started.
Oh, that's on the DJ.
Photo and video missed the first couple of minutes of speeches because they put us in the back room of a massive hotel where we couldn't hear or see anything, and just started speeches anyway.
That's on the DJ though. That's 100% on the DJ. I say that every you do agree, right? Because nothing happens without me starting it and getting on the microphone and telling people that it's happening. So
well, and he's able to eat at his table, so he had his dinner and was like, "All right, let's start speeches," without looking for us. But it was still
maybe not, because a lot of times coordinators don't realize it, and they'll just come up to us like a not so great coordinator will just be like, "Hey, Adam, start the toasts," and I'll be like, "Oh, okay." Is photo and video there?
The coordinator was eating with us.
Oh my God, he just chose to do it on his own?
Yes, no planner. And there were 5 of us back there, planners, 2 video and 2 photo. And he just started anyway without any of us there.
See, this is the kind of stuff that like, I don't want to like scare couples when they call me and they ask about pricing and stuff like that. And I'm just like, look, they're like, hey, listen, this DJ offered me to do it. He'd do it for $1,000. And like, that's like less than half of what you're doing. I'm like, Yeah, but this is people who don't know what they're doing.
We should do DJ horror stories.
I have so
you
many
can't
of them.
really maybe do them, but oops. My computer just...
do you have a ton of them?
Sorry. Yeah, we should do DJ horror stories. I don't know if you've got any, but for me, I definitely have a bunch. So we'll save that for another episode.
All right, we'll save it.
Yeah, I feel passionately about spending on a good DJ because they are the vibe the whole night.
Once I realized, like, oh, wow, I do this kind of on a level that's different. Mm-hmm. I started having a little bit less trepidation and less anxiety about asking for more money. And you are somebody who I have to thank for making me realize, like, our worth, where
push you into that.
You did. You were like, I raise my prices almost every year. I don't know if I'm putting you on blast by saying that. I want to do a whole episode on how to raise your prices and when you should. Can we do an episode on that?
Totally. That's another good one. Yes.
I think that'd be a great one, because we had that conversation and I was like, man, I've been sitting at the same price for like 4 years, and I think you said something like, well, are you not 4 years better? And I'm like, that's true. Like,
yeah.
I do this on a level of like 100% success rate. Like, and there are guys out there charging way more than I do, who spend all their money on the things that don't matter, like, you know, cloud fog for you to dance on, and I don't know, moving colors that make it look like a 16-year-old birthday party. I'm buying a new laptop every year and new speakers every year. I want this stuff to play when I ask it to play, and I want it to sound good. We're thinking about the good stuff. You're bringing great cameras and all the megapixels that you need, but we need to stick on food, Jess. We're getting off topic. So this is a passionate thing of when the vendors eat. Just please let them eat first.
My October story was, again, where we ate after all of the guests. That's where that came from, is we were scheduled to eat at the end after dinner, and then speeches started right away. So the dinner schedule it's important. And no matter how many times I talk to couples and planners about it, it ultimately, frustratingly, is up to caterers on the wedding day. They're just going to do whatever they want to do anyway. So it can be, you know.
I tell every photographer on the first time when I meet them in the beginning of the day, I say, hey, what's going on? My name's Adam. I want you to know that you can go to the bathroom. You can go get out of the room and do whatever you need to do. I'm not going to do anything without you being set. And that statement, they say the same thing every time. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. I can't imagine how many DJs are doing this to them. They're just starting things. It's the couple that suffers every time. That's what's a shame. Very good. Okay, so with that being said, food trucks.
Oh yeah. So this one, I gave you a couple of nuggets that were new for me. This one was at the second wedding that I ever photographed. We had Iced Gems, which is a cupcake truck, roll up around 7 or 8 o'clock, and guests could go to the cupcake truck and get whatever they wanted. And since then, I've seen this in a million variations of, like, chicken and waffles truck, cupcake truck, what is it? Ice cream cookie sandwich truck.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, so it's just so much fun. Like, catering is cool and all, but when a truck rolls up, and everyone gets out in line and there's like string lights, and it's just so much fun to, go get something cool.
It gives it like a city vibe. It kind of stretches things out. It's not like a buffet table where only one table can go at a time. Like, you get a lot of people can go through food trucks.
Yeah, and it's fun. And 9 times out of 10, the person running the food truck is very personable and having a great time. So the photos are awesome. They're leaning out of their window, like hanging out with people. And it's just fun. It's really fun. And the couple gets invited into the truck to like serve people through the window.
Oh, that's
Those are great photos.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's just fun. Food trucks are awesome. I'm a big fan of having a food truck come to the wedding day.
And then what about the cocktail hour with themed hors d'oeuvres? What is that?
Yeah, so this sort of ties into the episode that we did last week, where you can make a wedding your own, but with food. So one of the things that I love to see is when during cocktail hour, the past hors d'oeuvres are from locations that are important to you. So maybe if you have a partner who's from Maryland, you do mini crab cakes. And if the other partner is from Texas, you do mini tostadas. Or
what's a tostada?
Something like that.
What is that?
Well, it's like, you have a tiny little tortilla chip and a little bit of the food and a little bit of like a tomatillo sauce on top. And it's like a little bite.
You got a solid little Hispanic accent there when you
Oh, yeah.
when you turn that on. I heard that in there. Okay.
I speak Spanish. So
Tomatillo. Okay.
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
I went out.
It's a lot of fun. And then your guests, when another tray comes around, they're excited. Like, ooh, what's this one going to be? It's the fried mac and cheese balls or, sushi. Like wherever you guys are from or like to visit, you can really customize your cocktail hour food to kind of, tell a little bit of a story about you guys.
Bringing me to food at the cocktail hour. Is it a faux pas or a no pas for a vendor to get the food, to eat some of the food?
It personally makes me uncomfortable to eat off the hors d'oeuvre trays. I don't know why.
Do you mean, wait. Do you mean the people that are walking around with trays, or do you mean like a cheese plate that's like a charcuterie board that's just sitting there?
So when it's past hors d'oeuvres, I typically will not, unless there's just like nothing happening and it seems fine. But if I'm busy running around photographing, I'm not going to stop to have a bite off a tray. If it's a table with a big like charcuterie and cheeses and everything, I may grab a plate if dinner's going to be late.
Fair game. It's fair game on tables, for sure.
But you have to remember during cocktail hour, I'm trying to do family photos,
that's true.
photos. My second shooter is trying to do table decor, cake, candids, guests, everything. So there is so much work to be done in that hour that I don't know. And also it just something about it, just like I don't know, like grabbing food, as you're working, like I don't know, it feels like something that's reserved for the guests. That's just my personal opinion.
I know I understand what you're thinking about, because I have that in my head too. I'm like, don't pig out at this table. Like if you can sneak a piece of cheese and a piece of bread to hold you over until dinner, like I just haven't eaten since a long time ago. And it's not that. What it really is for me, a lot of my job, folks, as the DJ, it's like an 8-hour day. I would say it's 2 to 3 hours of driving there and back. And then it's going to be 4 hours of lugging equipment. And then it's going to be 2 hours of dancing. Mm-hmm. It is so much equipment lugging. You're basically a roadie. And you're just moving these speakers from the ceremony space up to the cocktail, over to the reception. And usually it's like a football field in between all three.
Definitely.
And sometimes these venues don't have like walkways for you to use a cart. So you're just throwing the speakers on your back and just lugging it while all these people are at the cocktail hour and you're just behind the scenes. No one can see you, but you're just like, carrying this stuff. You better believe it. I see a free piece of cheese, I'm snagging it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do agree with you. There is that little thing in my head that goes, hey, don't just sit here and pig out. That's not for you. That's for the guests. I like that you said that. That's very classy.
It's sort of an in-between. I think every wedding, when it comes to hors d'oeuvres, every wedding is a little different. It depends on the guest count and how much is happening, what the guests are doing. Sometimes they're just seated waiting. That's, a perfectly fine opportunity to grab a snack. It really depends on, and the couple too. Sometimes I'll have couples that treat me like family. They will tell me that there are fried mac and cheese balls coming. You better get one.
I love those.
What about
when the vendor comes up to you and they have the tray and they say, ma'am, would you like one?
I will usually just say no, honestly. And the catering staff always will ask. I'll always have every tray come by me and I'll take photos of them. It's a great opportunity to take a photo of like this beautifully plated food. But I will not stop and take a bite every time a tray comes my way, which is a lot.
You know what sucks? I'm a picky eater, and I don't have a clue what's in half of these things are on those trays, and I hate being the guy that's like, what's in that? So I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
It's true, and half of them are shellfish. I'm like, no, thank you.
Nah, I'm good. No seafood for this guy. I have a question for you when we're on the topic of types of food. Okay. I'm a little picky. I eat steak the wrong way. I know this. I'm probably in the wrong here, so I'll take the bullets. But why is the steak option at weddings? Do you eat meat?
I do. Okay, yes.
Why is it always cooked rare? Can I get a little medium in there? It's like bleeding on my plate.
It's like probably a chef's desire to sort of like not show off, but it's like, this is what we can do. I don't know how it's been cooked, slow cooked or sous vide or whatever they've done.
Right.
But it's fancy.
Here's a pro tip. If you're like me and you like your steak medium to medium well, more on the hockey puck side, don't
order chicken.
Yeah, order chicken, bro. Don't do it at a wedding. Just don't do it. Because they're only cooking it one way. You're not getting personal, orders. So don't complain about it, first of all, because you heard it here on the vendor list. It's coming out rare, I promise you.
Yes.
Order the chicken. Easy. All right, good. Last thing, and this I think is more controversial than we eat first, so maybe we'll see I don't know. Maybe sparks will fly.
Okay.
Did you say that, wait, what is it that's on your contract about vendor meals?
A hot meal. If I work more than 5 hours.
I thought I heard that. Hot meal. Yeah. Why is it? Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because a lot of caterers will ask, do you want a vendor meal or do you want your vendors to eat what you're going to eat? And 9 times out of 10, the vendor meal is
for a 10-year-old.
It's worse. A soggy avocado sandwich or an apple in a bag of chips. It's usually something that was made 3 days ago.
For a 10-year-old.
Noodle salad. Like sometimes they're so bad that me and the vendors will sit around and not be able to eat it because the bread is just wet, and we'll look at what we can order quickly to come to us.
Right. You could tell it was made in the morning before they suited up the truck and everything, and
on Wednesday.
Or on Wednesday. I don't know, but it looks like it was made for a 10-year-old with a turkey wrap, like a cookie, an apple, and a bag of Lay's chips and a water, like a tiny water. And honestly, the way I feel about it, I will tell you right now, I'm one of the nicer vendors when it comes to that. I see photographers, they get really upset.
No, you're not wrong. It's, we work such long days and it's go, go, go. We're, have basically 5-pound weights on each shoulder all day long with all of our gear and lenses. We're put in easily 10 or 15,000 steps or more. So, after 8 or 9 hours of working, when it's dinner time, an apple and a half a sandwich is just not enough calories. And I know that my blood sugar will drop, and I've got second shooters that are the same way. I will not last.
Drunken guests yelling at you.
Yeah, a clear head and patience and not being starving is an important piece to that puzzle. But
I never want to sound like we're divas though, but I feel like you just can't until you are in those shoes and you do those 15,000 steps and those 20,000 steps. God, let me tell you this, okay, friends? I eat nothing on days that I don't work. I eat dinner 3 p.m. and then I don't really eat after that. I'm 148 pounds soaking wet. I'm 5'7". I'm not a big person. I don't churn a ton of energy on days that I'm not working because I'm kicking it. I'm chilling. I'm recharging the batteries. If I were to go out and do an exercise and work out that day, I would eat a ton more. On wedding days, when I do 10 to 15,000 steps, I'm so hungry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. And I can eat a huge meal of mac and cheese and mashed potatoes and barbecue or whatever at 9 p.m. Not going to matter because I'm still going to go dance for 3 more hours. We're burning calories there. It is what it is. And I just hope people know that. I hope they recognize that. And it's not that we're I need a hot meal or I'm not going to eat it. It's not that. It's I need fuel, son.
Well, and the alternative that I tell couples, and it's only happened a couple of times where someone has asked me about that or questioned that. The alternative is that I leave the venue for enough time to go find a hot meal and come back. And I can promise you that is a much worse option in every way. So it's you're going to have your vendors for a really long time. Just feed them.
Everybody's happy. Everybody loves everybody. That makes for the best wedding. I am so excited for all of you to get a little bit of a break. I hope you've been able to listen to this on your holiday travels. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Jess, in 30 seconds or less, what's the favorite thing on the Thanksgiving table for you?
Oh, gosh, that would be a toss-up between good Southern stuffing, like juicy, sausagey stuffing done in a crock pot, or my family's famous dessert we call the pink stuff, which is frozen whipped cream with cranberry and nuts and pineapple, and a packet of Jell-O.
Wait, I think that sounds like ambrosia or Watergate salad. What is it made of again?
It's frozen whipped cream,
yeah,
and a can of crushed pineapple and some crushed nuts and a packet of raspberry Jell-O and a can of cranberry sauce. And then you freeze it again. And it's like a cranberry ice cream with nuts. We call it the pink stuff.
You'll have to bring some over to the studio for the next time you come.
It's so good.
I'm down. Jess Nazarova, thank you so much for joining us. She's done a wonderful job. As always, she's an incredible photographer. I'm telling you, you got to check her out. You'll not only have great photos, you'll have fun on your wedding day. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate you. All right, friends, that does it for us on another episode of The Vendor List. Thank you. Enjoy your travels. Get out of here. Go enjoy your families, your friends, and your kids. I hope you learned something today. Feed your vendors first. I'm telling you, it's the way to go. See you guys.